My name's Ed Pease with New Real Estate Advisors in Atlanta. I've been a real estate developer for over 30 years. I've developed for national retailers around the United States and medical users, but I primarily concentrate in the Southeast. Today, our primary focus is building dental practices for large family-owned practices that want to own their own building. And we generally do buildings that are 8 operatories to 24 operatories.
So Ed, let's talk about getting started on the why. What should dentists consider when thinking of building or expanding their practice?
And you have to begin with why, because you have to have a clear reason of why you're doing this. The first thing you may want to consider is your practice at capacity. Are you 80%, 90%? For most dental practices we work with on a blended revenue between hygiene and dentistry, they're usually 25,000 and rising. We have some dentists that are at 50,000 or not, and they're at capacity. So if you're at capacity, now's the time to look. And then you just have to consider how many ops do you want. If you're at 8, do you want 16? If you're at 10, do you want 20? And so when you're considering the size, you have to think about, you're going to add more staff. You've got to bring in new people. Do you have the current staff? Do you want to bring in new associate dentists or possibly new partner dentists down the road? And then, does your current practice have functional limitations? The dentist I currently go to is in a small office, and it's utilized well, but it doesn't allow for real easy flow for the staff. So you can also solve some of those issues with a new office. Do you currently lease your space and you want to own a new space? There's certain advantages for owning a space. It is more money, there's more responsibility, but again, you have the benefit of owning real estate. Some dentists want to add a new specialty. Do you want to bring in another practice that you would benefit from sharing those patients? Is your volume static? And you're not growing. That may not be the reason to build a new space. I worked with a dentist out west, and he had declining revenues, and he thought a new building would solve that problem. And a new building won't solve that problem. You may want to consult a dentist practice management consultant and look into that a little bit deeper. You may be in a poor location. You may have too much traffic. The market may have moved away from where you are. Your practice could have catered to children 20 years ago, but those children have left. You have an older clientele base. That may, now may be the time to consider moving. Some people just want to open a second office. Some dentists that we work with are very entrepreneurial, and they want to practice less dentistry and become more of a practice manager. And in that case, having a second, third location or multiple locations may suit your need. But whatever you do, you've got to be enthusiastic about what you want to do. Next, we'll talk about, am I ready for this type of investment?